So there are three main presets I'm going to use throughout my show. A bass preset that I use underneath everything that is running. A band preset that I use just to make sure that I can isolate the band. And a blew out cue that's going to ride on top of everything. I think of this kind of as, it's like my busking sandwich. Right? I have my bass lick on the bottom. Then I have all of the meat of what my songs are here in the middle. And then I have the blew out on top, to make sure that I always have something to go to in case something goes awry, and I always have a way to get back to a known state at the end of the song, no matter what craziness is going on. So first, let's build the bass look. To build my bass look, I'm actually going to just bring all of my sliders up. It's a lot of stuff going on stage, but I kind of wanted to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take all of these fixtures, and I'm going to zoom them in. Right, this gives me a nice beamy look that I know is always just going to look interesting. The next thing I want to do is with those lights, I want to send them into their home base. So everything is now in our home base. Finally, I'm going to record this as my home base preset. To do that, I want to make sure that I grab all of the information here with the exception of intensity. And now I'm going to take all of my fixtures, minus intensity, and I'm using my a parameter tile here at the bottom of my screen to do that, and I'm going to make those manual. Now I'm going to record them into my bass preset. My bass preset, because it's the bottom of my sandwich, I'm going to record that as preset 1. So record only will filter out everything except for intensity, because that information is not manual, right? It's on my faders here that I'm bringing up and down. Record only, preset 1, and I'm going to label that bass. Next, I'm going to put that in my bass cue. So record only, cue 998/1. I use 998 because cue list 999 is what I'm going to use later for my blew out look. So now I have my bass cue. I'm going to map it to a fader here on the second page. And I'm going to run it. And now I have it in the background. Typically, I like keeping everything in my busking page to one page so that I'm not changing pages during a setup or between songs or during a song. However, my bass look's going to always run in the background. So I know that I'm going to turn it on at the beginning of the day and it's going to live there. So I don't really worry about it being on a second page because I don't really need access to it. We want to make sure that this look is always running underneath whatever we're going to be playing back as we're busking our song. So we need to make sure that it actually operates at a lower level than our typical faders. So to do this, we use something called priorities. So let's take a moment and talk about priorities. So if two playback sources are fighting for control of a channel, typically whoever gives the last move command is going to gain control. Priorities allow us to have another mechanism to control who gains control. So if we have two sources here fighting for control, and we always want this source to win when both are active, we're actually going to set that to a higher priority. So if our base priority is 4, we may set our second playback to 5 to make sure that as long as that playback is active, any other playback set to a lower priority is never going to gain control of that channel. If priority allows us to control who gains control of a channel when two playbacks are competing for it, background priority allows us to specify who regains control of a channel when it is released from another playback. So now that we understand priorities, let's go ahead and set that for this cue list. So I'm going to select this list, Q998, hit the Properties soft key, and then I want to change my priority from priority 4 to priority of 2. This ensures me that it's going to be running underneath all of my other playbacks that are running at a default priority of 4. However, 2 still leaves me one level lower in case for any reason I need to run something underneath this. I always like to give myself a little bit of wiggle room between my priorities in case I need to add a couple more layers to my playback sandwich.